What it do, guys? So I'm coming at you with a Bujo style book review, and the book I'm gonna be reviewing is If We Were Villains, a novel by HEYYO. And this book came out a while ago, so I'm pretty sure people know what it's about, but in case you don't, it deals with our main character, Oliver Mask, and he goes to an elite university for the arts where he does acting, and he's been there for 4 years now, and he has a group of friends. There's 7 of them, and they're really close-knit. And the story starts off with him being released from prison for a crime that he may or may not have committed, and the person who arrested him is the one who picks him up, and he wants to know the truth about what happened 10 years ago. Now, I rated this book 4.5 stars. The ending is what killed it for me, which is why I didn't give it 5 stars. For my likes, it has a lot of Dead Poet Society and The Catcher in the Rye kind of vibes, in the sense that in Dead Poet Society they go to a sort of prestigious high school and they are into acting, and this has a lot to do with actors. The entire groups of friends, they are all actors, so it has that vibe to it. It reminds me a lot of Catcher in the Rye in the sense that the thought process and all the events that are occurring to the main character in The Catcher in the Rye seems to translate in this, in the sense that a lot of it is chaotic and sort of all over the place. As you can imagine, the big basis of what the story is about a murder, so you can see where that sort of translates into the book. I also really like the writing itself. It's so poetic and mystical, and that sort of writing sort of puts you in a trance and helps you understand that this school that they attend is sort of like a cult, but the fact that it's written so poetically, you don't even notice it until you take a step back and realize, wow, these kids are really putting themselves through hell just to graduate from this school and not even get a dignified really degree that means anything outside of the name of the school. Even the main character himself says that it's hard to explain and put into words what the school meant to all the people who attended, and it's very evident in the writing how sort of magical the school is. I also really love the friendship in this novel. It's honestly really unhealthy how loyal and how loving this particular group of friends are, the lengths they would go to help their friends and do certain things that I myself wouldn't do. Especially Oliver, he's so selfless to a degree that literally lands him in prison for 10 years. I also really loved how the acting was so intertwined into their daily lives that it sort of blurred the line between what was actually real and what was them just acting. I have this passage that I want to read, and it basically sums up what acting meant to these characters. The quote goes, "A good Shakespearean actor, a good actor of any stripe, really, doesn't just say words, he feels them. We felt all the passions of the characters we played as if they were our own, but a character's emotions don't cancel out the actors. Instead, you feel both at once. Imagine having all your thoughts and feelings tangled up with all the thoughts and feelings of a whole other person. It can be hard sometimes to sort out which is which." And I really feel like that was evident. My most favorite thing was the wow factor in this book. I like to think that I'm pretty spot on when it comes to predicting the outcome of a book, and at every turn in this book, I did not see coming. I did not for the life of me see coming, and it's really surprising because usually I am pretty spot on. Let's jump into my dislikes. To me, it just doesn't seem feasible how being casted as a secondary character in a play would cause one of the main characters, Richard, to lose his marbles as he did. It is explained how everyone in the school is always under a lot of stress and they really want to pass, and it's really hard to be in this school, and I get that, but for him to go berserk the way he did, I just don't think that's feasible. The second thing I didn't like is, I understand loyalty when it comes to friendships. Like, I do feel like you should be loyal to your friends, especially close friends, but I guess my loyalty does not extend to almost killing your friend, abuse, and murder. Like, I don't know, if any of my friends did that, no matter how much I cared for them, I don't think we would be friends at this point. I also sort of didn't like how a lot of everything was spoken in Shakespearean. Like, of course, they are actors, so they're constantly acting, but it was kind of confusing because I obviously don't read a lot of Shakespeare, and it's hard reading Old English and it translating while you're reading. so it was kind of difficult, but I also liked that aspect because it really blurred the lines between what was actually real and what was actually a play. Overall, I really liked this book. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. I sort of just sat there and forced myself to read it. I found one of my favorite quotes in there. Well, it's not. I guess it's one of my favorites. I really liked it. It goes, "There are things they don't tell you about such magical places, that they're as dangerous as they are beautiful." And that's in reference to the school. And honestly, I'm really glad I forced myself to sit down and actually read it because it was honestly so good. So good. It did drag a little, but I can overlook that. The wow factor, everything that happened leading up to it, and the ending, the ending. There has to be a second book. It cannot end this way. I am not good with translating any sort of poetry, so I don't know if the Shakespearean at the end means anything, but it sort of hints that, James might be alive. I don't know, but if that's the case, there needs to be a second book. I'm pretty sure this voiceover is going to end before the video does, so listen to the soothing music and enjoy the rest of the video. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!